Welcome to today's Piece of Peace. You're going to see me sort of in my parka this morning because I was out walking after working out, and it was actually snowing in Minneapolis, like big, fat, huge flakes in Minneapolis. And I haven't been able to warm up since, but not complaining. It's just October 16th, and typically that doesn't happen this early. We're usually out at apple orchards in the sunshine watching the beautiful leaves change colors. But today, I was doing 2 miles in the snow. So, with that being said, I needed to have a mindset of gratitude as I was coming into today. I started to thank God for a couple lectures that I got to listen to by Carrie Job and her husband, Corey Carnance, and one by Francis Chan. And it was really incredible because what stood out to me when Carrie and Corey were speaking were a couple things. One, that we are wired for worship. And either we're going to worship God or we're going to be worshiping something else. And in our worship, we could be worshiping money. We could be worshiping our successes. We could be worshiping our children, whatever it is. We could be worshiping food, a substance, our time alone. I don't know. And either we're worshiping the one true Jehovah or we're worshiping something else because we are wired to worship. That's what he created us for. So as I pondered that was just like a huge revelation piece for me. Also, they also talked about how as writers of music, we typically, or for me, it's like there's been times when it's just been this great encounter with God and it's getting penned out with melody lines and it's amazing. But just that Carrie had mentioned that the encounter that we're experiencing as the time of that writing is the same encounter others will experience as they sing those songs or as they move and worship with that. Or if you're a writer and you had this encounter as you were writing your article or writing your book, that encounter is going to come through that writing because it's inspired by your king. So that was 2 important things for me. Also, I was just saying to Jesus, Francis Chan is like, how is God going to be finding you in these times that when he comes? Are you going to be worshiping him? Or are you just going to be doing life on your own still? Like just living normally every day? Are you going to be found ready for him, searching for him, in community, in dialogue with him, turning to him for everything throughout your day? I want to be that. I want to be turning to him for everything throughout my day. I was just saying, Jesus, I want to be found worshiping you. Not my things, not my job, not my children, not my finances, not food, not drink, not status, not accomplishments. I want to be found worshiping you, Jesus. Just Jesus. Jesus alone. And I just said, Lord, what are you doing today through me? Not, hi, I've got this plan, Lord, would you please bless this and come and join me in this plan? It was me just saying, here I am. What do you want to do today through me? How do you want to use me as a channel in this world, in this time, in this season, in this craziness? How do you want to use me today? And the Lord just said to me, feed the poor. I had met a gentleman named Jerry about a week ago, and on a corner, and the Lord asked me to go find Jerry and feed him lunch today, which is good because that's not my work, that's God's work. God's work. It took me into sitting with that, feeling like God had put a charge and a call on me today. And to move into Matthew 13, we're going to start in 31, go through 35. I'm reading out of a devotion called Our Daily Bread. You can download that app, order those booklets. This particular devotion was written by Glenn Packiam, and it's titled Slow but Sure. And I'll start in 31. This is the parable of the mustard seed. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it's the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it's the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and perch in its branches. He told them still another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into a large amount of flour until it worked through all the dough. Jesus spoke all these things to the crowds in parables. He did not say anything with them without using a parable. So was fulfilled what was spoken through the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the creation of the world. Small things God turns into amazing things. Small, tiny things God turns into amazing things. This brings me into what Glenn wrote. I ran into an old friend who told me what he'd been up to, but I confessed it seemed too good to be true. Within a few months of that conversation, however, where his band was everywhere, from charting top singles on the radio to having a hit song pulsing under TV ads, his rise to fame was meteoric. We can be obsessed with significance and success if that's our goal and that's our focus. The big and the dramatic, the quick and the meteoric. But the parables of the mustard seed and yeast compare the way of the kingdom, God's reign on earth, to small, hidden, and seemingly insignificant things whose work is slow and gradual. The kingdom is like its king. Christ's mission culminated in his life like a seed, being buried in the ground like yeast, being hidden in the dough. Yet he rose. Like a tree breaking through the dirt, like bread when the heat is turned up, Jesus rose. We're invited to live according to his way, the way that's persisting and permeating, to resist temptation, to take matters into our own hands, to grasp for power and to justify our dealings in the world by the outcomes they may produce. The outcome, a tree, that the birds come and perch in its branches, and the bread that provides a feast will be Christ's doing, not ours. Glenn's charge was this: what small and seemingly insignificant things could you do to encourage or bless the people in your life? Where do you need to turn away from comparisons with others or from false pictures of significance and success? His prayer was this: Dear Jesus, thank you for often working in small, hidden, and seemingly insignificant ways. Help me to trust you're at work even when I can't see you. Grant me the grace to remain faithful. That brought me into Jesus Calling, Sarah Young's book. You can download that app. You can order her book online. She writes from the perspective of God speaking to us, and today says this: look to me continually for help, comfort, and companionship, because I am always by your side. The briefest glance can connect you with me, and when you look to me for help, it flows freely from my presence. This recognition of your need for me in small matters as well as large ones keeps you spiritually alive. When you need comfort, I love to enfold you in my arms. This next part is very important. I enable you not only to feel comforted, but also to be a channel through whom I comfort others. Thus, you are doubly blessed because a living channel absorbs some of whatever flows through it. My constant companionship is the peace, the resistance, the summit of salvation blessings. No matter what losses you experience in your life, no one can take away this glorious gift. I felt as if God was speaking to me about being ready, making sure that I'm not taking glory from Him, allowing Him to work through me as a channel so that people encounter Him and not me. That I'm drawing every bit of who I am from who He is. That I want to receive all that He has to give, and I want to give Him all that I have to give Him. And I want everyone to see Him, and I want Him to find me worshiping Him, because we're wired to worship. And either it's going to be Jesus or it's going to be something else. I want to be found worshiping Jesus. That's today's piece of peace. God bless you.